here, almost equal applause for both fighters
now
here.
giving out the final
Interesting.
Your referee in charge, Rodrigo Flores. 8 rounds, Ocho Santos.
Chris, let's talk about the keys to victory. What do these guys need to do, speaking Chavez first, to win this fight?
All right, we only have 8 rounds. Chavez is used to fighting 10 or 12 round distances. He needs to start fast. He doesn't want Anderson Silva to get comfortable. 2, he has to be a bully. We get a small ring. He can be physical, fight on the inside, get to that body, which is number 3. Body, body, body. Hit that body every chance you get. Silva has a very long torso. For keys to victory for Anderson Silva, get your bearings. Know where you are. Get your feet underneath you. Get some respect early. You've got to sit down on those punches in boxing. He's got to be crafty. He's a very slick guy. He's got that great upper body head movement that he can fire right off of. And also, he's got to stay long. He's tall, he's long, he's got broad shoulders. He doesn't want to be in the inside with Chavez Jr.
Well, everyone's wondering what's going to happen in this fight here tonight. A lot of the boxing experts say that there's no way Anderson Silva can compete with someone on the caliber, the level of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Some people saying Chavez didn't take it as seriously as he might if he was facing a more formidable boxing opponent. But they both look like they're in shape and they're ready to go. And they both look intense here as they touch gloves and they get it underway as the lights come up in the ring for our co-main event, an 8-rounder between Julio Cesar Chavez in the camo shorts, Anderson the Spider Silva in the black and yellow, as he's known for. Silva dancing around the ring, circling. Silva southpaw, always can be tricky. It's all about that front foot when you're fighting a southpaw, right, Chris?
Yeah, you're going to see that battle of that front foot. You want to keep your lead foot on the outside, whether you're a southpaw or an orthodox fighter. Keep them within your striking position, which is between your legs.
You see the size difference. Silva is a big man, again, fought in the UFC often against full-size 205ers and was able to handle them and handle the power in 4-ounce gloves quite well. So we'll see if a natural 168er in Julio Cesar Chavez, even fighting down at 160, can hurt him with the bigger gloves. Nice 2-3, kind of feeling out with the punches. Big body shot, as you mentioned, needs to be done by Chavez.
Anderson's moving very well right now. I'm impressed with his ability to maintain a boxing stance, move laterally, and his hands are in great position.
I don't know if it's just because they're bigger guys, but man, do these gloves look small on these guys.
They really do.
Right?
The ring looks really small, too.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room to move here, which could be a disadvantage for Silva, who likes to use footwork and range here.
You can see that reach advantage from Silva. He's got 4-inch reach advantage over Junior. You can see he's got very long arms, wide shoulders.
Silva jumping in. A little uppercut action.
Chavez moving his head pretty well, not being a stationary target. Hands in good position.
Overhand left. Partially blocked there by Silva.
Now you see the body posture. You see Chavez. He wants it. Ooh, good left hook from Chavez.
Good land there.
And Chavez wants to be in close. He's coming forward, forward, forward. And Silva's moving laterally. Wants to stay outside, stay long.
Silva bouncing, dancing, moving, hands down. Now we know Silva, he's being measured right now, but as we've seen him in his UFC career, when you hit him, kind of lights a fire. He does have a chip on his shoulder. He is a true fighter. And when he does get hit, he wants to get it back. But he has to be careful against the experience, boxing skills of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Silva at his best is a phenomenal counterpuncher. Ability to pull the trigger and land hard, sharp punches. One of the best in UFC history.
Yeah, and he does like to lull his opponents in. Almost seems to be inactive at times, and the next thing you know, like you said, bang, that one big shot comes, hurts his opponent, and then he swarms.
Good opening round.
Yeah, I thought it was good to see both fighters. They both look in shape, sharp.
Throw the jab, throw the jab. Then throw the right, follow it up with the right.
Direto cruzado, mesmo que não pega. Tá bom, não tem que pegar. Tá bom? Se não pegar, você joga finta. Não pode se aproximar. Tá lento, tá aproximando você, tá ruim, você tá vendo.
We got
Tem que pontuar.
Silva's corner, imploring him. He seems so calm and collected in there, just receiving the message. No stress on his face. That's just the experience. That's just fight experience. He's not overtaken by the moment, Chris.
No, just like you said, Brandon, like he's one of those guys who lulls you to sleep. You know, he does it with his posture, with his body, with his mind, with his face. You know, he's very relaxed in there.
Well, I think it's safe to say he already did better than Ben Askren a few weeks back.
Well,
yeah, Ben Askren is known as a grappler, never ever as a striker. In fact, some people say he had the worst striking ever in the UFC. And Anderson Silva had some of the best striking ever in the UFC. So much different MMA versus boxing match than we have here, guys.
Also, Anderson Silva does have he has boxed before professionally.
Yes.
He also is a kickboxer. So kickboxing is somewhat, I think, of an easier transition to boxing than going straight from MMA or having a wrestling background like Ben Askren.
You know what I've noticed, Chris, is Anderson in that first round, he took that hook very well, and that was a big question that I had coming into this fight is how he would take Chavez's punches.
Yeah, he got hit with that big left hook, was lead. He did take it well. It didn't seem to rock him all that much.
Can we say a fighter is a fighter is a fighter no matter what discipline they're in?
I mean, yeah, a fighter is a fighter is a fighter, sure, but you know, someone who's going to be effective is a whole other story.
Well, you were talking about, you know, the transition from one sport to the other. You know, Anderson Silva, if you remember, had that horrific leg injury against Chris Weidman. He could only box for 2 years after that. He didn't really want to use that leg. So he got a lot of boxing experience in getting back to the UFC after that injury.
That's a phenomenal point, Brandon. Really, really is indicative of what we're seeing here. I mean, he looks good.
Look at that. He's dancing his way. He's a little awkward, though. His footwork is awkward.
Good.
Lands a big hook, though. But, you know, fighting a southpaw is always a little bit more difficult. You don't see him as often. It always presents issues. And he moves a lot. He does not become a sitting target very often.
No, he always had great head movement, great upper body rhythm for an MMA guy, which generally you don't see at the high level in MMA.
Oh, big shots coming from Silva on Chavez in the corner, but Chavez looks unfazed, kind of like...
Nice uppercut.
Chavez showing pretty decent defense at this point.
Nice jab gets through.
I'm actually surprised because Junior is actually bringing action to Silva.
Yeah, he's pushing the pressure.
He said he needed to do that too. He said, you know, I need to bring the fight to him. I have to do that to earn respect of the crowd and to really prove that I'm the better boxer here. I can't sit back on him. I got to pressure him. And he's trying to, but, man, Silva is a tough cookie to catch.
Yeah, Silva's in a rhythm right now. He was showing a few moments ago vintage Anderson Silva. He'd like to showboat a lot in his UFC fights.
I think that's him finding his flow, though. That's what he needs.
Very surprised at how good Silva looks this early in the match. Oh. Referee giving a little warning there. Break it up. Listen to my instructions. Oh, Silva blocks that big overhand, man. Silva looking pretty smooth so far, looking confident.
Big smile at the end of the